What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/Tales from the Customer. Alright, this story's called Don't, I'm assuming, insure your phone with this insurance. I've been on a new phone carrier for around 2 years now. The phones they list are your standard flagships, and then there is a few budget ones, but mainly your iPhones and Samsungs. I ended up getting a Samsung Universe S9. Wow, I used to have the generic version of that. The Galaxy S9 from Samsung. It was a pretty sizable investment, but I remember a decent rebate on it to get people to transfer from their traditional carriers to bundle with their cable service. I even threw on phone insurance since the rate with it was cheaper than my current monthly bill. Around 3 months ago, I started to have charging issues with my Galaxy. I thought it was a Universe. The cable needs to be just right, needs to be inserted in only one way, even though it's a USB Type-C. I bought a new cable online, and it actually started working again. I was relieved. Phone was finally charging correctly again. Well, then around 10 days later, a similar issue came back around. Plug the phone in, and it shows it's charging for a second, and then disconnects. After a few days of me getting ready to head off to work to find my phone at 5% battery since it didn't properly charge, I finally was going to put a claim on my device through my insurance. The initial call with my insurance went great on October 7th. They had me load into a Pocket Nerd, which I assume does some basic diagnostic. They said everything was in order and that my claim was going to be approved. There was just one problem. Being a few generations older phone and with Provid, they couldn't just send me a device outright. I would need to purchase a device and they would reimburse me the max value on my phone. What they were saying was $720. Seemed very reasonable at the time since I could get a slight upgrade to a brand new phone and just pay the difference. Okay, $720 on an S9 in 2020 is insanely good. Like, that's more than I paid for a brand new one like 2.5 years ago. And my S20 doesn't even sell for that much. I get some basic instructions to look for emails and to go to the carrier site to buy a new phone. I go on my carrier site and everything I try, it will not let me check out with the phone. Error codes popping up on the screen saying this device is not available to your plan. I call into both my carrier and insurance. No one knows what's going on. A few calls later, someone comes to the conclusion that you cannot order a phone for a line if there is an active claim on the device. This was my first red flag. Carrier doesn't even support insurance in what they want to do for my claim. I have to call insurance and we close out the claim so the order will go through. Then I call back in to tell the agent to reopen it now my device was ordered. Device is finally ordered on my dime, and in comes an email from insurance to make sure I upload my receipt and keep an eye out for shipping instructions. The email also informs me that once the claim is approved, I will receive a check in 3 to 5 business days. Simple enough. I print a PDF my receipt from carrier, attach it to the Dropbox, and wait a few days for some follow-up with shipping instructions. Odd. No email about what to do with this phone yet. I got a shipment notification emailed to me from IronDex, but no instructions attached. I give insurance a call to see if my receipt is approved and how they want this phone back. Turns out the receipt directly from the carrier doesn't meet their criteria, since it didn't have their address on it and the phone IMEI. They also tell me just keep an eye out. Those shipping instructions will come as soon as they approve the new document. I go through the order history and find carrier updated the same file I sent them, but now it has an IMEI on it since they have assigned a phone to the order now. Re-upload that number to the claim system and wait a few more days. Call in again. Receipt is denied. I can read the PDF file great on my screen, but no one over there can read the tiny font carrier uses on the document. Can't even bother to zoom in to read it or give me a heads up. After some back and forth, I get the direct email to send it to them so the agent can review it and get it approved for me on the phone. Still assured I should get some shipping information. I wait a few days and give another call in. We are 5 days in since they approved my receipt, and I was hoping to hear a check was on my way now since I was on the phone when they approved my claim. We haven't received the device, I get told. Of course your check isn't shipped. I asked to get a supervisor since we are pushing 2 weeks since I filed my claim. We go through the emails how it looked like I should be paid by now and that I was to wait until I had proper shipping instructions for the device. She just tells me make sure to leave the SIM in and stick it in a bubble envelope. Granted, it was along the lines of what I expected, but I didn't want to compromise my $720 over leaving out a cable or some excuse for them to deny this claim. We then go through how this process is going to work with getting paid. There is some additional time required right now with Brovid for the package to disinfect, so the process takes 10 days now instead. She also mentions she has a spreadsheet to check in on people who talked with her to follow up and give updates on their claim. 10 days pass. No word from the supervisor, no email since the initial instructions. I call in to check in and it becomes, no, it's 10 days from opening the box and scanning in the phone. We didn't get around to that for a few days, so we are well within the 10-day processing time. I speak to another supervisor and they assure me that it is 10 days and be patient with them. The new 10-day window lapses and still no word from insurance. I call in again and they admit, yes, this is 10 days and we are now late. They give a call to their payment center and of course, no one picks up. They offer they will put in a request for payment and this will be completed in 3 to 5 days. Today was day 5. Again, they agree they are late. They weasel out of it by saying the 11th was Veterans Day, even though they were open, and that doesn't count, so Monday is the real date. I requested a call from the next level up of supervisor, so we will see what happens Monday. I shift through the terms of service on my insurance, and nothing matches this makeshift procedure. There are 3 ways they replace a device. All of them are in the form that they bear the costs of everything up front, and if the device doesn't get returned, they bill you. My blood's a-boiling, guys. My blood's a-boiling. This is not okay, you freaking stupid insurance company and freaking carrier provider people. They suck. They all do. They're all bad, and I don't like them. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a full-on misanthrope now. Alright, this story's called $340 chargeback? Yeah, no, buddy. First and foremost, I want to make a disclaimer that I fully understand that these are difficult times for everyone, and some things work differently than they used to. However, my husband and I have a cell phone contract with a certain big out there telecommunications company. I've never really experienced any issues with them. Perhaps maybe a few unpleasant in-store employee encounters. Employee obviously was bored and did not look like he was enjoying his job at all, and he ignored me mostly and only spoke to my husband, even though I was the one trading in my phone. Mid-October, I decided to upgrade my phone. We go into the store, everything went fine-ish, even though he barely acknowledged me and only spoke to my husband. I, aka my husband, was told they now prefer that the customer sends the trade-in device via mail and that he ordered me a return kit that'll be in next week. 12 days go by and nothing. So I reached out via chat and asked for the status. Live Agent tells me that the customer needs to request it themselves online. Oh, okay. But no worries. They've requested one and I had to verify my mailing address. Not an issue. Another 10 days go by. Nothing. I did another live chat asking for an update. Nothing was sent out, so the agent would make a note and send a new kit out. Had to verify my address again. 13 days go by. Still nothing. I can't get anyone on the phone and my local store keeps closing for 1 week straight. Live chat again. I'm so sorry. It seems like no one listed your apartment number when ordering the kit, is the answer I get. Okay. Verified my address again. Another kit would be sent. Still nothing. So I reached out last Saturday asking if it would be possible to just drop my trade-in phone in store. No, not possible. A new kit would be ordered and a note to the account so I won't be charged back. Cue to this morning. I wake up to a lovely email from this wonderful telecommunications company stating, because we have not received your trade-in device, your account has been charged back $340. Lovely. Live chat again.
We're so sorry for the inconvenience it may have caused you.
Uh-huh. While I'm asking if I could please just drop off the phone at my nearest store, the live agent decides to do a sales pitch and sell me a plan with more gigs. Are you kidding me? No, thank you. I don't care I went over my 4 gigabytes accidentally in November because I forgot I wasn't on Wi-Fi and watched Netflix. Ugh, damn, dude, that sucks. Okay, first of all, 4 gigabytes? No. Second, T-Mobile, they don't count, like, streaming services in your data limit, so you should probably switch to something better. Mid-conversation, live agent disconnects the chat. I'm sorry. What? Hello? Excuse you? So done with this telecommunications company. Thanks for letting me vent. I tried to not pull a Karen or fight someone in store. I want to, but it won't get me anywhere. Rant over. Oh man, I'm sorry. That sounds like absolute dookie dogs, man. This is what I'm saying, man. Customer service sucks. It's just so... Why can't things just work how they're supposed to? I hate that customer service exists. And the fact that it does exist sucks, but what sucks worse is the fact that it sucks. As in, customer service is never good. Unless it's like in person or something, but dealing... the phone calls, the emails, the live chat, I hate it all, man. Just mail a person over here and let me talk to them. Get my issues fixed, and then I'll send them back. And if we have to, escalate the issue to a manager or supervisor, send them too. I don't care. And you're paying for room and board, unless you provide like a box and some cat food or something, a couple newspapers for the age. I'm going too deep into this. All right, this story's called White Pizza is surprisingly hard to find, but not the focal of my tale. So, masks are still apparently a thing, and I just wanted pizza. I wanted white pizza, and I knew a certain national chain with a game piece as their logo had it. Hint, shares a name with a luck-based mutant from X-Men. Ooh, I know this one. Okay, the superhero is Domino. So it's Little Caesars? So I go to get my pizza and find that masks are required of customers for entry. Okay, fine. I have one on. I don't cause any trouble. But what really ticks me off? I look over at the chefs that are preparing the food with their masks on their chins. Dude, you work with food. It is more important for you to keep the masks on. Oh, okay, so I don't actually know the transmission rate from like someone preparing food to like, someone eating it. Regardless, they should definitely keep their masks on, given that it's store policy and that like, you don't want other people getting sick around you. But I'm just curious as to how likely someone is to get it from their food. Doesn't matter. They need to keep their masks on, but I'm just saying to, try and make sure you guys don't die of fear because you think you're gonna die of Medela virus or Brovid-19 if you're scientifically smart. Am I right, you fish scientists? All right, this story's called The Disappearing Man. Where's Larry? I was gonna try to say it like Phineas says, hey, where's Perry? But I can't do that voice. The guy's got a very unique voice. Hey, I can't do it. I sound stupid. So I just found this subreddit and I thought this might belong here. Obligatory, I'm on mobile formatting. This happened about a year or so ago when I was pregnant. Many moons ago, while I was pregnant, my husband and I were working on a project. We needed lots of wood cut into smaller pieces, fixing our bed frame structure and also using some of that wood for a cat toy for our new kitty. Aww. So, being the independent person I am, I took a trip to my local hardware store. Now, note, I live on base at a pretty large military base that was a pain to get in and out of because of the driving distance between me and anything else. I went into said hardware store and found the lumber and stuff and found the appropriate wood. However, it was just one very long piece of wood and I'd need it cut. Sure, no big deal. Daddy didn't raise a quitter, so I started looking for the table saw or hand saw, something to cut with, which this store usually has. It was nowhere to be found, and being new in this town, I wasn't actually all too sure that it was even around. So I started looking for a worker. I actually found it kind of strange that in the about 20 minutes I'd been there, no one approached me at all. So I began the hunt for anyone in an orange apron. Now comes in a man we will call Larry. Larry was wearing a very festive Hawaiian shirt under his very clearly orange apron with Larry on the upper breast corner. Hey, my man! I knew he worked there. Perfect! I would ask him about a cutting instrument. Now, Larry noticed I was very pregnant and said that his handsaw was out of commission. Bummer! And that only contractors that had prior approval could use the table saw. Also understandable. Don't want some poor bloke to chop off a finger. So I was just like, now what? He very kindly informed me that he could find someone to cut the wood in my specified lengths, but I would have to come back as he was looking for someone that could handle the table saw, and it might be a while. I was kind of frustrated because it took me so long to drive there, and I was determined to get it done and out of the way before my husband was off work so he could just couch potato and not worry about it. But sure, I'd come back. So I told him the lengths I'd need it cut into. This was about 8 feet of wood, and I needed it cut into various pieces anywhere from 6 inches and 10 inches long. You know what? I find women are very fond of that size range for wood. And he took note, wrote my name down, and put it aside. So I left it with a promise that in about 2 hours, the job would be done and waiting for me. I offered to pay in advance to assure that the job would be done, but he said it was not necessary. Cue 2 hours later, I come back, husband now in tow because he got off work early and he wanted to run errands with me. So we head back in and I go toward the back counter and ask if my wood had been cut and is ready. The guy looks puzzled and radios someone else, then sends us to the front counter where it takes them 30 minutes to talk to everyone at the store and ask who helped me. I say, Larry, the man with the Hawaiian shirt. The lady at the counter just looked so confused. She was like,
Larry? We have 2 Larrys and neither of them work in the lumber area. Maybe his name was Bob?
I said, no, I very specifically remember his name being Larry because I recall reading it on his apron. Now the wood is nowhere to be found, nor is the note with my name and number on it. And not only were there 2 Larrys, but neither had been into work at all today. And no one else in the store ever wears Hawaiian shirts except for one of the Larrys. They helped us out and helped us grab another piece of wood and cut it for us immediately. But to this day, I wonder what even happened. They said that it couldn't have been apron sharing because management is very uptight about their aprons and they're kept in a monitored environment, and also Larry had just not worked there all week, if not longer. But my description sounded exactly like him. 2 of the managers on the floor went over the schedule for the day and didn't recall anyone wearing the famous Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts, or anyone that closely matched my description of Larry. To this day, I have no idea if it was a ghost, a bored man on his day off, or just a weird misunderstanding. But in the end, we got our many pieces of wood, a discount for our troubles, and a story to tell. Yo, I'm reading some of the comments on this post, like saying, what if it was a ghost or something? Like the managers tried calling the Larry that they know wears Hawaiian shirts, but he didn't answer, and they went back multiple times before they moved. They never saw him. Again, that's eerie, man. I believe it's probably just someone screwing around on their day off or something, but damn, that's got some spooks potential to it.